Hi, I'm Atta Yaqub. I'm an actor from Glasgow and my parents came from Pakistan.
For me, being Pakistani means living in a community that is hampered by outdated traditions and poverty. When I think of Pakistan, I think of rickshaws, camels, and people balancing things on their head.
Recently, some of my friends have started moving to Pakistan. They tell me it's a place where arts and culture are flourishing. A place where cool young people have big dreams and big passions.
I've heard that Lahore and Karachi are cities where westernised urbanites can feel at home. This is not the Pakistan I've seen on the news or experienced in Glasgow. I'm going on a journey to discover this new Pakistan I'm hearing about. I want to find out if I could fit into a country whose culture, up until now, I've usually tried to get away from. Karachi seemed like the natural place to start my journey. With a population of 13 million, it's Pakistan's largest city and the epicentre of the country's emerging media class. It's modern, cosmopolitan, and it's got a beach. My first mission was to make some friends. Luckily, there was a glamorous event being held at the hotel I was staying in. I used my brand new BBC credentials to get in. The only problem was, I didn't have a clue who anyone was.
You must be famous. Are you guys famous? You famous?
This was Pakistan, but not as I knew it. It looked glamorous, alluring, and sophisticated. I was hooked already.
So what's happening here? Is this the biggest thing in Pakistan?
This? Yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm supposed to say that.
No, is it the biggest thing in Pakistan?
Well,
we don't
actually,
know.
yes, it is. It is.
It turned out I was at a press conference for the Lux Style Awards, Pakistan's version of the Oscars. I was mixing with the equivalent of Kate Moss, Bono, and Giorgio Armani.
I'm very proud to be Pakistani, but there's so much talent just starting here. You know, even I get very starstruck sometimes when I'm at the Lux Style Awards.
Adnan apparently has heard about me. Have you heard about me?
I've heard about him. Yeah, absolutely. I was in Glasgow for a film festival and people thought I was him.
Bingo! Adnan was a model, stroke actor, stroke director, and was exactly the person I needed to gain entry to this glamorous world.
Ali Zafar, biggest pop sensation in Pakistan right now.
After a few hours of unashamed networking, I had a pocket full of contacts and an invite to a small after party. I was hanging with model Vaneeza and designer Hassan Sheheryar. Watching them do an impromptu photo shoot, I couldn't help comment on how modern they seemed for Pakistanis.
Like when I go abroad and I tell people I'm a Muslim, they're like shocked. Still, they're like, wow, you're Muslim, you're a Pakistani? They can't get over it.
And so when I count to three, we'll turn.
Also at the party was British-born photographer Zubs. He came over for a wedding and was so amazed by the new Pakistan he decided to stay. In a short space of time, he's established himself as a top photographer.
People over here are so much more modernised than the Asians and Milan. There's so much going on. And they're really exposed to media, to MTV. It's like the MTV generation.
Also, if I may cut in, more than ever before, because of the electronic media boom that we have in this country, what's happened is that for the first time, people in this country are more exposed than they ever have been before. They have access to the internet, they have access to countless television channels that they never had access to before.
Are we far behind in the UK or are we far behind in Pakistan?
I think we're a little far behind in both places. Both places have their strong points and have their not so strong points. I do find the magazines in the UK a bit. They celebrate a certain element of Bollywood that they actually believe in,
which doesn't exist.
Which doesn't even exist.
Yeah. Why do you think people in the UK have that kind of perspective, especially Asians?
Your parents or whoever left 30, 40 years ago. Remember Pakistan as whatever it was, and they keep coming back to their own either villages or their little towns, not realizing that the cities are growing, people are growing, not just cities but people are growing. You know, so it's different, things are changing. We're progressing with time and evolving with time, being Pakistanis, but the Britishers there or Americans are stuck in that time.
We found a new place to live where we're taught to grow strong.
I thought I'd be too modern for Pakistanis. Already I was getting told it was me who was behind the times. Still, Zoob's success inspired me to find out if there was a place for me in this new, media-driven country. I dropped in on another contact I'd made, Danish Zahur, the 27-year-old Vice President of youth channel The Music.
Right now, the Pakistani media is at its peak and it's accelerating at a very fast pace. I mean, everything's growing. I've been with AIY for the last 4.5 years and I've seen the size of AIY grow from 100 people to 400 people just in this studio. And it's a multiplier effect all across the board. We've gotten more producers, more directors, more private production houses. It's just growing, more actors. How about you coming down?
I would love to come down.
Before I had a chance to tuck my shirt in, there I was, representing Britain, my mum and the BBC on Pakistani television.
I'm very well, thank you. Hot, but good, thanks, yeah.
And have you been to Pakistan before?
It's my first time back after 20 years.
20?
20 years, yeah.
My interviewer was the motormouth VJ Natasha. She works without a script. Thankfully, she didn't ask me what my favourite colour was.
You know, a while ago, it was very difficult for a girl to be wearing what I'm wearing right now on TV.
You're wearing...
Yeah, but you have to realize where we're coming from. So it was quite a big jump because, you have people judging you. That's the only thing. A lot of young girls want to look like you. A lot of young guys want to date you. A lot of parents don't want their kids watching you because they don't want them getting influenced by, I want to wear jeans too, stuff like that. Because we still have a large population where girls aren't allowed to talk to guys. But I think if parents actually consciously sit and watch us and they see that, it's nice, it's decent, there's no limits being crossed, maybe they'll open up a bit with their kids as well.
Maybe it was just westernised girls parents had a problem with, if Waqar's Zaka was anything to go by.
Hi everyone, I'm Waqar and welcome to Living on the Edge. Our time is
They certainly didn't have a problem with their children volunteering to do life-threatening stunts on his reality show.
I invite people to come on my show and perform extraordinary dares, extraordinary tasks. It's a kind of show where anyone can come and perform extraordinary things. There was a girl in my show who is about 16 years old. She came to my show and she pulled a car with her hair.
My God.
She pulled that car up to about 35 feet and there was a guy who picked up burning coals with his hands.
Where does all your influence come from, or the originality? A lot of things you're saying, is it Western influenced, or is it just that you're
Not
thinking,
exactly.
let's do it in Pakistan?
Not exactly the Western influence. It's like I just search what exactly is not happening in Pakistan. What exactly I can come up with, or what exactly I can create which the Pakistani youth can relate to themselves.
Life-threatening reality shows are the new kids on the TV block. But if there's one thing guaranteed to get an audience, it's drama. Drama is, to coin a phrase, bigger than cricket. Once again, I used my BBC credentials to get on a set. The plan was to try and get a part in a show. I went to see producer Momina Duraid to get the lowdown.
We're trying to take realistic stories and converting them into dramas. Stories that every person would be able to relate to. Mostly we target women, not men. But because we think that women are the ones who are the real drama watchers and not men. And all the stories that can make a woman laugh, cry, feel something, those are the stories that we take and we dramatize.
So that's enough, okay? No, I don't think that is enough.
Momina said I could try out for a part. I thought all I'd have to do was a bit of Bollywood. But Pakistan drama, I found out, is not the same as Bollywood.
5 or 10 years we tried to create something related to India like Bollywood style, but it didn't work actually. So what we wanted to do, we just wanted to create a drama, with the Pakistani style.
A Pakistani style meant lots of dialogue, and lots of dialogue meant lots of Urdu.
You will say these lines. आखिर तुम जॉब क्यों करना चाहती हो? तुम्हें कुछ पैसों की ज़रूरत है? मुझसे ले लो. मेरा लाखों का बैंक बैलेंस कहाँ जाएगा आखिर?
Is that my line?
No, these are yours.
Okay, I can't read that. यार, अब
मेरा जॉब करना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
मेरा जॉब करना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
मुझे अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना है.
मुझे अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना है.
तो पहले किसके पैरों पे खड़े हुए हो पाजी? किराए के?
दोस्त के. Don't take the piss at my Urdu, man.
And you're 19 just now?
Yeah.
So
When I
since you're
started, I was so young.
Wow.
I just
One of these actresses was going to be my love interest. I figured that if Bollywood rules didn't apply in Pakistani drama, perhaps I'd get to kiss one of them.
16.
Okay, I want to tell you a little secret, right? Let me tell you a secret. I've done some filming, right? I've done some feature films in the UK. I've had to do some quite explicit sex scenes. Okay. How far do you guys go when it comes to that?
Comes to?
When it comes to sex or when it comes to kissing?
No. we don't do that scene.
No? What's the most just do? Is the most just holding hands?
We can do everything. Holding hands, sitting together, placing my head on someone's shoulder.
That's naughty if you have to place your head on someone.
Why?
No,
I mean,
I'm joking.
It's so romantic. I mean, if you're sad or something, then you just place your head.
But is that real? But come on, is that real?
The plays we are making now, it includes like what girls are wearing together, how girls are behaving together. Like they're smoking, so we show on TV they are smoking. Okay,
and they're doping, so we showed it that
yeah, if they're wearing a sleeveless top or strapless top, so we are showing it. Okay, girls wear it now.
Hospital. तुम्हारी तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी. ठीक नहीं थी? Is that okay? हाँ ठीक है. तुम्हारी तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी. So despite the liberalisation, this was as close as I was going to get to my love interest. But I had more pressing issues to deal with. My Pakistan acting debut was imminent. तुम्हारी तबीयत खराब थी. You're not feeling so good. I'm just practicing my script for in Urdu because I'm meeting a friend in the story that she's not well, but this could be a start of a romance here, so I'm trying to pucker up the lines so that I get them right. It's a bit tricky being in Urdu, but I'll give it a good crack. तुम्हारी तबीयत खराब थी. You weren't feeling very well. Should be alright.
Action.
तुम्हारी तबीयत ठीक नहीं थी. Pani? I started badly and went downhill from there. My Urdu was so bad, I couldn't even get past the first line. Office की क्यों आई? डॉक्टर ने क्या complete?
दोबारा करें आप, ठीक है? थोड़ा स्लो बोलो. लाइन बहुत फास्ट बोल रहे हैं.
Okay.
Rolling. Action.
तुम्हारी तबीयत खराब थी तो ऑफिस क्यों आई?
एक दफा करें. ठीक है? ऑफिस आने की क्या जरूरत है?
मैं घर नहीं जाऊंगी.
क्या? घर नहीं जाओगी?
सबसे सीधा है.
Peak, let's go.
It didn't look as if you liked her or you
Yeah.
had any romantic interest in her, you know. So your eyes lacked that
Compassion.
compassion, you know. In the end, when you say that मैं हूँ ना तुम्हारे लिए, you know, you said मैं हूँ ना तुम्हारे लिए. No smile, no nothing.
It was a case of don't call us, we'll call you. Maybe I'd been watching too much Borat. I just assumed Eastern people made crappy TV. Because of that, I got burnt. The more TV I watched, the more I saw it influencing the aspirations of young urbanites. Car shows in particular, I noticed had taken off in a big way. It wasn't just British Pakistanis, it seems, who liked souping their cars up.
I've spent more on my rides than I have on my house and my all other expenses put together.
I met up with Omar Salim, the hardman host of High Octane, to see how his show was making its mark on the street.
I was invited to an interview by another TV channel earlier who were trying to criticize what I'm doing. They were trying to give it as, oh, young kids are now driving very, very rashly because they get inspired by your show. It's better than drugs. How can anybody explain the use of drugs, for instance? Exactly. Why would any or rock climbing? You know, it's what human beings. I think we have an innate need for something, for a thrill, for a kick, and some people find it in driving their cars insanely fast.
What's this big fascination with Pakistanis and speed? Because even back in the UK, it's a big thing as well. Honestly,
nowadays is like
hell of racing.
Yeah.
You see 350s, you see RX-8s, RX-7s going around, Supras, Lotus Elise.
Yeah.
You can find even Lamborghini Gallardo in Pakistan right now.
Ferrari,
Ferrari F50s over there.
So there's every type of car?
Every
Exactly.
type. It's more like an adrenaline rush, you know? You know, when you're driving on the road, you kick it down a gear, you know, you just short shift your car, you just keep going faster.
In the UK, you know, you like to look good for the ladies, you know. But I've been about Karachi, I've not seen any women about that you can show your car off to.
Well, it's kind of different these days. I mean, girls aren't what they used to be anymore out here. There's a lot more freedom. You know, girls can go out, not worry about stuff, you know, so.
Do they go for guys with nice cars?
Yeah. I mean, that's for sure. Definitely. But boys into modified cars didn't really feel like anything new to me. What was really catching my eye was the modified trucks. These acid trips on wheels made Karachi's roads look like real-life art galleries, but no one I met seemed to be talking about them.
In Pakistan, pimping rides is a tradition that predates the TV revolution by centuries.
Crawling around the truck stops of Karachi, I met Duraid Qazi, an artist and academic who has written a thesis on Pakistan truck decoration. She cuts an unusual figure in these places, but it's here where she thinks Pakistan's unsung artistic heritage lies.
So what are you showing me? You know, where are we going? Because I'm feeling a little bit scared around here.
No, don't be scared.
Don't be scared?
Don't be
Okay.
scared, don't be scared.
Right.
They're artists.
What are you showing me just now?
There's a tanker that's been made,
Right.
and it's beautiful. This is all called chamak patti. This is not printed.
Yeah.
It looks like it's printed, but if you run your hand on it, you'll see
It's not.
it's not.
So
and each
stickers?
piece, yeah.
So
basically,
stickers.
it's
So
like
these stuff
reflective
all-
stickers.
Wow.
Truck decoration, I discovered, goes beyond the ornamental. The way a truck is decorated is effectively its license plate. From it, you can get information about its place of origin, the caste, class and social standing of its owner.
It's not a cult or a phenomenon. Getting your truck decorated is as common as putting petrol in it. In fact, many truck owners often spend more time on their trucks than they do in their houses.
This is a completely new, crazy sticker which I just love.
Yeah.
Which is this guy with a gun,
Yes.
which looks the most unlikely gun. It's
Yes.
something between an aeroplane and a gun.
Yeah.
And then the name Avara.
Yeah.
You know, it belongs to Balochis. I asked them what does Avara mean for them.
Freedom, maybe?
And it's a free roaming with no, you know, and I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. I asked them why they look after it so well, polish it, clean it. And they say, well, this is our home. We actually spend more
They
time
actually
here.
regard the truck as their home.
As their home. There we are.
बंदे देखते हैं ट्रक को क्या कहते हैं?
खुश हो जाते हैं माशाल्लाह बोलते हैं
ऐसा लग रहा है
ज़्यादा टाइम कहाँ गुजारते हो गाड़ी में
ज़्यादा टाइम गाड़ी में
हाँ ये
Yeah,
तो
that time. So you spend more time in the truck. Yes.
The people I was meeting through Duria were just as talented and passionate as the modern Karachiites I'd met, but they weren't on the radar when it came to exposure. I asked Duria why.
It's a class thing. This kind of stuff is acknowledged, unfortunately, in a kind of exoticism bracket.
Yeah.
But for people like us, it's not about exoticism.
Yeah.
It's sort of real because the way the poems are, the way the images are, I think they're stories of our times, and they tell you who is the latest hero, what's going on. So I feel it's for us, it's real art.
To me, these trucks represented real street art. Like the graffiti on the subway trains of 1980s New York, they were the media of the masses, carrying the dreams and passions of everyday people across the country. I wondered what the boy racers would make of it.
Of all the smoke like streams.
Would you ever do truck art to your cars?
We never did it basically. People don't want it actually. They never come to us.
They're coming more for like that sporty look. They're not really into that cultural thing anymore. They like want that newer look so they could, you know, look good, have the Hot Wheels, you know. It's just like that. No one really cares about culture anymore. There you go.
The reason I'm here is because I'm speaking to your brother and I'm going to take your car away and we're going to put truck art on it Is that okay?
I don't like the trucks too modified.
No? Don't like it? Okay, fair enough, man. He doesn't like it, he doesn't like it.
I began to wonder if modern Pakistan had forsaken its traditions. I decided to immerse myself in that world again and see if the new generation really was going west. I went back to see Momina, the TV producer, for advice. Luckily, she still saw a place for me in the media boom.
You have a nice face, you can do modeling also. Actually, I was telling somebody, I said if he was here, he would have been maybe on all the ramps.
Modelling was something I'd done a bit of in Britain, and surely this time there wouldn't be a language barrier. I wasn't really sure what it would involve. I didn't even know if modelling was acceptable. To find out more, I got myself a casting call in Karachi with Catwalk Productions.
Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what you have to do. So you're going to come out here, okay, and pretend that this is the stage, okay? And then you're going to walk towards me, okay?
Fariha Altaf used to be a model in the 1980s. She now runs an events and modelling agency specialising in new faces.
In the 80s, in 1986, when I started modeling, I had friends of mine who had gone to Berkeley and Harvard, and they would say, how can you do this? Now there's so much skin. You couldn't even wear sleeveless. You still can't wear sleeveless on PTV. The walk is all wrong. The standing is all wrong. It's too stiff. It's not natural enough. The hair is all wrong. We've got to do a lot of work on you before we can do that. And the body proportions are not right either. There are some people who come to me and I don't know who told them they could be models.
Have you ever experienced a religious backlash?
This is still not acceptable to me, I think. Not
Modeling.
everywhere. Yeah. If you look outside, how many men are there?
Yeah.
More men than women.
Yes.
Right? What does that tell you? Nice. Can I tell you what was the nicest thing here? Out of all the guys who came here and walked, you have the most sex in you, which means you're sexy. Something changes in a model when they, I don't know, blossom, if that's the right word to say, okay? And it's not there with every model in Pakistan. It's because we are a conservative country and a lot of them are probably going to be virgins.
I thought the whole kind of modelling industry, based on the UK style, was all sex, drugs and rock and roll. What's it like here?
I took a break for 4 years. I was in Canada. I came back. The first thing I heard, I saw all these models and they'd lost so much weight. They were so skinny. And I said, what's happened to all of them? Yeah. And everyone said it's the cocaine, it's the E, it's all of that. And that's what it was.
So it all happens here.
It happens. Everything happens. Everything happens. That's all right, isn't it? He's losing his hair though.
The dream we all dream of.
I was confused. On the one hand, Fariha was saying modelling was not socially acceptable, but on the other hand, she was talking about sex and drugs. To me, it all came with the territory. I wanted to find out just how far Pakistani women were prepared to go. Nadia Hussain, in every respect, is the modern Pakistani woman. As well as being a model, she is a dentist and mother.
And my husband is sitting with my son. Hello.
Perhaps she would also have a modern outlook on exposing flesh.
I'm okay with exposing like my leg till my knee, but not above that, not till like, my thigh level or something. But, cleavage is like very, very minimal, not a low cleavage at all. And as far as my back is concerned, it could be a low back, but not like going all the way down to my line, to my butt, not like that, But there are girls who are very, very comfortable wearing, like hot pants, and they're very comfortable wearing just a tube around their, chest, but I'm not comfortable with that, and I never have been, and I can never do it, So, we're very proud.
Nadia lived with her in-laws. I could understand why she wouldn't show too much flesh.
You're mad.
Humayma Malik, on the other hand, was 20, single, and ambitious.
I was going to ask you around flesh content.
surely she was modern enough to strip for success.
Would you go do a bikini?
No way.
Okay.
I'm a Pakistani girl. I have to be like that, no?
Okay.
That's it.
Sleeveless?
Yeah, I can wear sleeveless because it's a fashion industry, and we have
Yeah.
to, you know, present the clothes. We have to present the makeup,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
so we have to show a little bit,
Okay.
not too much. I always present my family, so I have
Yeah.
to be in limits. That's it.
What's your limits? How far would you go? Would you wear a bikini?
No, I'll not.
Never?
Never.
Never? Not even like a 20 grand shoot?
No. Why should I?
As an actor who'd done sex scenes that had upset my family, I was surprised by these girls' determination to stick within limits. For me, being modern meant rejecting my Pakistani values. But even the most modern Pakistanis didn't see it like that.
We have a certain value system and family system, which I think really keeps us together. If any other country went through the kind of turmoil that we have economically, politically, or socially, I don't think they'll be able to survive. We survive because we are so closely connected with our families. And conservative or not conservative, we're here to stay and we're here to make our mark.
So modern Pakistanis were not completely abandoning their values. I still needed to find out where I stood in all this. I'd been offered a shoot with Nabila and Zakir, a mother and son team with a reputation for pushing boundaries.
You know, we're always saying, oh, come to UK or do this because the West is doing it. There's a lot of contentment and a lot of self-pride in what's going on in Pakistan.
We don't necessarily think that we'll be complete only if we go to the West. We're treated like royalty over here. There you have to carry your, water from Safeway. I don't like that. The shoot we're doing today, you will see a lot of skin, but you will not see vulgarity or obscenity.
I think we're pushing it pretty close right now. The contradiction there is that if there were Eastern clothes, it would be acceptable because the tops are generally very, very tight and very close. There's a lower stomach showing generally, and those are allowed. But when it comes to Western clothes and shorts and things, it's not for some reason.
Doing a shoot like this is going to raise eyebrows within my community in Glasgow. Perhaps I should have been more confident in drawing my limits. When I arrived here, I expected to see people aping Western culture. That hasn't been the case. These people were not seeking my approval and were quick to point out that it was me who was behind the times. Being modern, I've learnt, does not mean being Western.
Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates.